What's happening, people? Good, happy Monday. Weekend has finished. I hope everyone is having a fantastic Monday, a great start to the week. And yeah, after a couple of days of not knowing whether I'm going back or forth because I wanted to get on here and then I didn't because there's nothing to talk about, didn't want to force it. But we're back. We are back. And it looks like we have something to talk about, which may be a positive. And I'm unfortunately, Chris, like you said, am I teasing you? Listen, maybe I'm teasing myself, but you know what? It's something to be positive about. The fact that Conte's name keeps being linked with Arsenal Football Club. And we've seen a few promising things today from so-called people with a little bit of a voice. So, but first of all, it's been a pleasure getting everyone back in the chat. You know, it's always quite weird now that I'm involved in the YouTube world. And I actually miss the community. If I don't have something to, if I have a day off, I actually miss the community. Even though I like to detach myself and I like to be, you know me, get deep into Zen out, etc. But I did miss the community. So people, you're a major part of my life now. You can't be going nowhere. I can tell you that. Everyone's in the chat, absolutely unbelievable support straight away. Buenos Aires is in. Craig, as always. Randy Viper saying, "Whoa, let's go." Obviously, Craig, Chris, Dave is in. Dave Fox, Mr. J84, he's in. Del J saying, "Yo, what's up?" Simon saying, "Big up, friend. Big up to yourself." Darren, as always, big up, friend in the FFT community. Tony C is in the building. Afternoon, everyone. Can't believe Conte will come now, given the mess we are in. That's what we're going to talk about. The fact of the matter is, it sounds great, but could this actually happen? Florida Waters, he's put Edu's favorite rapper is Future. Yeah, not a bad choice though. Lebowski125 has put high on Hopium. That's what it seems that we are, people. And Curtis could be my source. Endenguna's coming. He's put afternoon, Fran, and all that everyone who is watching. He's also put how much was the courier to PS5. Hey, by the way, I've just sent the PS5 today. I've just emailed Adrian because I couldn't do it last week. It cost me 75 quid to send it. But that's insured. That's track and trace, and it gets there. So it costs 75 quid to send it to Germany. So, by the way, people, don't send anything to Germany. I can tell you that. Chris has put, where else do we experience advanced humor? Hey, there you go. Enders put, Conte went to Inter. That was in the right mess as well. And big up, Fran. I think that's first spot instead of Fahad. Ouch. Yeah, ouch. But hey, listen, it's all worth it for the love of the game and the community. Hey, we have to stick by what we say, and that's what we're here. If you've not seen it already, because I know it's the beginning of the week, I did a nice video last night on the other channel just about how we all go through struggles. And yesterday I had a good conversation with my friend. He approached me. So it made me do the video because I thought someone in the community might benefit from me just speaking about a few things when it comes to struggles and what you can do, because we all have them every single day. Some big, some small, but we all have struggles. So go and check that video out if you already haven't. I know Buenos Aires has already checked it out. He absolutely loved it, and it's helping a few people already on a Monday, start of the week. So I wasn't in for Curtis's stream, so I have no idea what Curtis was talking about. And also seen a little bit of deluders this morning when I nipped in and just to see what was going on now. The only news that's coming out at the moment is this Conte. Now, we'll get into it. We'll have a debate. We'll talk quickly about, we'll speak about the England results, etc., because it's International Week. But let's speak about the Conte one. No other club has got really any other big news. It seems to be only Arsenal that seems to get the big news. So ESPN came out this morning. I forgot who his name was, and he was saying that he didn't basically say that this could be a possibility, but he was saying it may interest Conte. And then the reporter was saying, why would it interest him? You know, he went to Inter, he's not going to go there, and etc. Why would he go to Arsenal? And that's the same question myself and everyone else has always put when someone said, you know, well, Conte, why would he go? If they throw the right money at him and they bow down to his demands, he will go. He will go. His relationship with Chelsea has been burnt. He was in contention with Real Madrid twice and never happened. He's not going to go Juve for Inter for obvious reasons. He's then obviously not going to be going back to Inter. He's not going to be Chelsea. He's already been there. He's not going to go Man United. I can't see that happening. So let's be honest. Unless it's a Liverpool or an Arsenal at the moment, there's no one else really going to go for him. And Klopp's not going nowhere. So this is probably a great time for us to go for him. Now, there's a lot of rumors saying, Arteta's got 4 games left. We don't know. What it looks like to me is the media circus, and everyone now is putting pressure on the Kroenkes to make a decision for Arteta. And while you've got Conte out of work, you are under serious pressure. Serious pressure. Just like Endenguna said, he said, results will determine as to when Arteta is sacked. The owners will sack Arteta if we continue to lose, no matter how much they've spent on transfers. And I agree with that. A lot of people think, well, they're not going to sack him, They're not going to sack him. If he continues to not get results, they have to sack him because it's going to damage them. It's going to damage them as a brand. It's going to damage their pocket. They know that. So it cannot continue. Guaranteed talks have already happened with what are we going to do if we sack Arteta? When is the right time to sack Arteta? Do we wait? Who are we going to get next? Conte, if Conte is out there, which he is, and he's willing to come to Arsenal, if it's all right, we have to break the bank to get him. He's no nonsense. He's not particularly bothered about playing the youth. Now, some people might say, Fran, we want to play the youth. Listen, ESR, Saka are going to be involved. Balogun might not be involved. Martinelli might not be involved, but they're not involved at the moment. I want results. I want to start winning again. And I don't care who he winds up. I don't care who doesn't like him. I want results. Because this is becoming a bit of a joke. Now, the guy on ESPN was saying this morning that he doesn't think that there's been any, obviously, well, basically, without saying it, I think that Antonio Conte's representatives have obviously maybe approached the Kroenkes, maybe approached the whoever's involved in the club and said, listen, if anything does change, we'll be interested to sit down and talk. That's not necessarily going to say that Arteta and Conte is going to take it. What I'm saying is they've informed, which that's how the industry works. They've informed the hierarchy at Arsenal. They would have informed them. If anything changes, we're willing to sit down and have a conversation with you. That's the talk that would have been happened. And the Kroenkes are going to think to themselves, right, it's going to cost us an absolute fortune. But those figures have already been crunched out. What kills the situation is that I've already spent 150 million. That's what kills the situation. And they may not have the funds to get a Conte in, even if they wanted to get him in. Now, like I said, the guy for ESPN, the interview, he was very, very hyped. And he was basically saying that he would be interested in it. His representatives have obviously reached out to Arsenal already. They know that he is there. X, Y, Z, put 2 and 2 together. You know, we get 4. Okay. Fabrizio Romano, as you've probably seen it on many other people's streams, so I'm not going to share the picture because you've probably already seen it. Lee Bobski has put he would rather have Rodgers. Rodgers is not coming. Rodgers is got too good. You got to remember, Conte's out of work. Rodgers is not out of work. Welcome all the late people. Nathan's coming. Ex-Gooner's coming. Brendan's coming. Alan's coming. Social, he's coming. Hello, mate. You are. MS is coming. He's put. If Conte didn't want to come, he would have made it clear. Look at what he did with Spurs. Yeah, so no one... Listen, if these little rumors are going around, it means he's having a word with his representatives, intermediaries, and saying, listen, I might be interested in that Arsenal job. It's a big club. I could be a bit of an icon if I get them back to where they need to be. And the way that he coaches and the way that he demands and the way that he ruffles feathers and is in people's faces, that's how we used to play. I love that. I don't care if he winds people up. I don't care if he, if people start sulking. I don't care if Saka or ESR start sulking. If I'm winning games, then get on with it. That's the mentality that we need to get us where we need to get to. Because this nicey approach is not worked. We have clearly seen that it is not worked. Now, this is all hopium. we're all hoping here. We're all hoping. It could be dead and buried. And I think the fact of the matter is we've not heard anything. Nothing's happened in a minute. There's no rumors that obviously Edu or Arteta is going to get the sack. So literally at the moment, this is still flying around. However, the story doesn't seem to be going nowhere. The story does not seem to be going nowhere. It's not going away. And then the fact that his representatives are definitely 100% notified and gave Arsenal a little nudge to say, basically, we are here and we would be interested to speak with you. That's how it works. When I was an agent, we had managers. We would knock up clubs who were looking to get rid of their manager before they sacked him. That's what happens. That's what happens. So that's a good sign. Now, Fabrizio has put he put it like yesterday or 24 hours ago, but he will put in, there's no pre-agreement. Now, there's become a little bit of, obviously, a little bit of where people are talking about, how can I put it? People are jumping ahead of themselves saying there was a pre-agreement. There's no pre-agreement. They don't have pre-agreements. They have a gentleman's handshake, and we know how far that gets you with Daniel Levy when he was with Kane. They may have say something. They're not going to publicly say we've got a gentleman's agreement or an pre-agreement that if Arteta goes, Conte is going to get the job. They don't do it like that. They just say, listen, we will have a look at the circumstances this time in 2 months' time, and then we will see from there where we go. And then we might sit down the table. So Fabrizio is saying that there's no pre-contract between Antonio Conte and Arsenal. Conte has no verbal pre-agreement with any club, and he is free. Fabrizio Pastorello, which is the agent and is close to Conte since years, confirms to Freddie Paxton, whoever that may, rumors about Arsenal pre-deal are not true. That is not true, okay? That is not true. Make sure you hit the likes on the way, people. Really do appreciate it. And once again, each and every one of you in the chat, I hope you start this week and smash the week. You know what I'm like. If you're not going and checked out the little video with struggles, go and check it out on the Green Mind, and it may give you a little bit of motivation and help you this week. Mike Howard has come in, absolutely unbelievable support on a Monday as well. Really, really, really got me pumped up. Thanks for the super chat and the amazing support. Here's Paul. Is it true you scored against Arsenal at Peterborough in pre-season? I found one of my uncle's old tickets and I found the game. Absolute legend. Well, listen, not only is that an unbelievable super chat, it's the best super chat I've ever seen. I did score against Arsenal. It was 1-0. They did have a good team out, by the way. They had Martin Keown. I think they had Ali Dayer, all these people. I don't think the French players were in the squad. I think they just finished the World Cup. It was a preseason game. Yeah, and that's the game that Martin Keown said to me, if you keep running, I'm going to basically snap your Achilles. I kept running, and I scored, and we won 1-0. It was a fantastic occasion for me being an Arsenal fan. But yeah, hey, listen, you made me smile now. You made me smile like a big kid. So, Mike, absolutely unbelievable. Really do appreciate that. So, if you didn't know, yeah, I did score against Arsenal. We did win 1-0. Martin Keown and Sol Campbell did smash me. But I'll never, ever forget that game. I can tell you that. I'll never forget that. Actually, that's when Arsenal were watching me after that game for the first 3 or 4 months of the season. And I started off really well. And then I got ahead of myself and I just hit a brick wall. I was just terrible. And it was all due to me thinking that I made it, which I always say, the minute that you've made it, people, is the beginning of you failing. I can tell you that. I can tell you that. CJ's put, if the past is prolonged, then would the Kroenkes smash up their massive investment for a person who never stays? This is where people, there becomes a big problem. Because I'm not sure that we have owners who want to go down the route of this. You've got to understand the project that they are building at the moment. Are they just going to turn around and say, right, we don't want that project no more? Arteta's gone. We're not going down the youth. All those players in that 150 million that we brought in the summer, we're going to scrap that, and Conte can go and sign top players on 500 grand a week. It's not going to happen. So that's the only thing for me where it's pure hopium. Absolutely pure hopium. That's amazing talk, Trends. Yeah, it was amazing. Smacked it, Fran. Yeah, hey, memories. Very blessed. We need Fran up top. Amazing. Yeah, appreciate love. Hey, listen, the community is about love and absolutely love it. Was the preseason directly after Euros and Seaman was in goal? If I was there, it was the away end. Yeah, he was at the game, so Chris was at the game. I think Seaman was in goal. Yeah. We played really well that game. We played really well. And Arsenal started off really slow because it was a pre-season friendly, and then they quickly realised that it weren't a friendly, and they started to, they weren't very happy. They weren't really happy. JP played them, Pennant, who grew up on the same close as me as a kid. And there's quite a few of them. There was quite a few. Arteta is here till the end of the season, you think? Whoa, I mean, that's a brave one. Hope we win against Norwich or else I'm loaning myself to City. Yeah, I mean, it's a strange one. How long does Arteta have? It's very hard to tell how long Arteta has. But with the Conte thing for me, I think the reason is, like I put, Conte Hopeium in the thumbnail. It is a lot of hopium. Other fans are going to banter us and say, listen, Fran, you got no chance of getting Conte. Even ourselves are saying, realistically, how would it happen? A lot would have to change. But big clubs, and whether people like it or not, we are still a big club and will be. We're a big club. It's as simple as that. Fan base is big. History is big. We're a big club. People still want to play for Arsenal, not the players that we could have attracted, prior to the absolute shambles of what's going on at the moment. But we are a big, big club. And because of that, you never know what the owners might do. People think that the owners say, Fran, well, we know the Kroenkes, we know we're going to do this. Listen, none of us know. None of us know. As much as people think they know, the only people that know are the Kroenkes of what they're going to do. They may wake up one morning and some business in the States might have got a nice windfall. Their stocks might have gone up. Some of their crypto might have gone through the roof, and they might have quickly bailed out. And they might have some money and decide to obviously get us where we need to get to. Because you don't know. These people can make 100, 200 million on a flip of a stock. So we do not know. History will tell us very differently. But history is history for a reason. Things change. History is always broken. So we don't know. We really, 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 really do not know. People are going to play it down. People are going to play this down, people, just because, one, they don't really want to make Arteta feel uncomfortable in his job. He's looking over his shoulder. He probably would have had a meeting already and said, listen, this needs to happen. So we will see. Remember, 5th of November, Arteta will be sacked. Interesting. Mike's come with another one. I think he's rounding it up. FFTV got Arsenal riled up to go unbeaten. Legend. Yeah, I think that might have been the season. Can you imagine? They say, that Franny Green, there's no way someone's going to take the mickey out of us like they did that day. And obviously they went on a mad run. So if Edu comes, if Conte comes, Edu's got to go. Appreciate another super chat, Mike, as well. Massive respect. Oh, yeah, Edu will be gone with Arteta, I think. We have not been playing like a big club for a long time. Are you sure we still are? You see, the thing is, it's one of those, isn't it, Jameson? It's one of those where we're a big club on paper. We're a big club on history. But, sorry, I nearly knocked myself out again. I always forget it's there. How can I forget it's there when it's right in front of me? But the problem that you have when you do keep thinking you're a big club, but the business is not right, you end up like Nottingham Forest, my hometown club. And even Man City and Everton back in the day. And then they had to get a wake-up call and they had to go backwards to go forward. So you have a point. Is it just name? Is it just on paper? Are other clubs overtaking us? I believe that they are if we don't sort this out. What really annoys me, people, and put all your comments, put everything in because I want to have a nice discussion. What really, really annoys me, and it's quite worrying for me at the moment, is they've just put so much money in. Now that money's gone. That money's been spent. Leeds is another great example. Remember Leeds, Champions League semi-finalist. Rio Smith, Harry Kewell, Viduka, all these players, unbelievable team that Leeds won. And then look what happened. Look what happened to Leeds. They've only just got back to where they are. A huge club. Tony's put in absolutely huge club, Leeds. When I mean huge, huge. So it can happen. it can happen. So you're right. You are right. You are right with regards to, is it just paper? But going back to that, the thing is, we've just spent 49 in the chat. Make sure you hit the like, people. Spread the love, because we are growing crazy, by the way. I think we're getting about 25 subscribers a day, which is unbelievable considering, the compound effect. Absolutely unbelievable. Oh, by the way, Chris, I'm sorry. I've had this for a while. What a book. It is only 120 pages long, but Chris, I know you like the books. Get the book, people. So good. So good. The Four Agreements. Anyway, Brandon's coming. Brandon, what's happening? He's finally managed to do the super chat. Absolutely love it. I know you've been having trouble trying to do it for about a week now, so you've finally done it. Honestly, we speak quite a lot behind the scenes with emails. I speak to a couple of you on email as well. So I understand you've been trying to do that for days. So absolutely massive thank you again, for the super chat. It means a hell of a lot. And no comment, so make sure you get a comment in so I can read it out. Chris has put, to be fair, seeing when he was distracted, we were shouting him about the Euros behind the goal and asking him for his opinion. He was grinning and doing the you-know-what sign back to us behind the goal. So are you trying to say, Chris, that the only reason that I skipped past him and slotted in the bottom corner is because you distracted him? Is that why? Malongi's put, big up everyone in the chat right now. Arsenal need Conte, even if it's 2 years experience matters in terms of money and management skills. Ranieri went to Leicester and set a foundation. Very, very good point. Dangerous Deeds put 119 pages is too many. You won't like some of my books then. Fran, I was wondering how long it would take for you to show us another book. Listen, we've got to give the books out. We don't just want to make it about football all the time. We've got to give you some motivation for the week ahead. Arteta, Vina, and Josh are the four agreements, Fran. They're four non-agreements at the minute. Not agreeing with us anyway. Need to oil up that mic's stand. I know. There you are. Yeah, we need a bit of baby oil on that bad boy. I think I'll get it out. Tobias has put, no way Conte joins the team mid-season. Not his style. True. Don't think he's ever done it before. But like we say, we never know when people get offered things. We just don't know. Like you say, history will tell us he's not going to go. History will tell us he's not going to come because he doesn't have the budget. He's not going to be able to get his players in. And that would obviously wreak havoc with his reputation. He's not going to put his reputation online. This is going to be a huge job for him. Chris has put, you could open a mobile library. Could do, but you couldn't take your books home. You can just come and sit, read 10 pages and go away. Oh, honestly. So it's an interesting one. Squeaky bum time. It is for Arteta, I can tell you that. Also, my seat. Yeah, my seat. These are brand new stuff. Definitely need some of that WD-40, Craig. I can tell you that. Squeaky bun time. V-Rogue has put, is there any team on current conditions that would give Conte exactly what he wants? Listen, the points today are unbelievable. The points today are unbelievable. And you've got to think about that. Who's got what Conte wants at the moment? No one. They've all got managers that they're probably happy with. So no one. No one's got it. Socials put, downloaded Relentless book today. Your recommendation, Fran. What a book. Tim Grover, Relentless. Get it, people. You will improve tenfold with that book. You will, listen, you go to a next level. But good point, V-Rogue. Very, very good point. Who is he going to go to? Does he sit down and just wait for the perfect job? Because that's what he's known for. He's not a man for desperate. Doesn't need it. He's a multimillionaire. He doesn't need to desperately jump in a job. He's not going to jump in a job that's going to ruin his reputation. And Arsenal, even though it's a big club, and if you throw the right money at him, he would consider it. Is it the right job for him to get his career where it needs to go? He likes to win things. He likes instant success. He likes to be in control of Jack Sparrow settings, sinking ship. He wants to be in control of that. Do we have the capability to allow him to do that? with the Kroenkes. Now, another good sign is Kroenkes are actually trusting in Arteta and Edu to spend 150 million with no experience. So that would tell me that they would stand back and allow Conte to do as he wishes with his budget, bring the staff that he needs into. Now, for me, this could go two ways. They can just stick with Arteta and stick with him, and their pride and their ego gets in the way, and then we're in the mud, proper mud, swamp settings, okay? Or they can just turn around and say, listen, we made a huge mistake here. We made a huge mistake. We've got 3 inexperienced people trying to obviously, captain this ship, and it is not working. We've made a mistake. So we need to change things. We really, really need to change things. So we will see. Brandon's put, laugh out loud, I just fixed that super chat stuff today. Bro, been trying for a week. I know you have. I know you've been reaching out for me and telling you've been trying to sort the super chat out. In South Africa, banking was an issue with the card. Franny, bro, blessings to you and the fam. Keep doing what you're doing. Massive respect for you. I know you've had a tough time in South Africa, but you're always turning up every single day. Wayno's put, if no one has want Conte, what does that mean? He will have to bring his demands down. Yeah. Would he, though? That's another thing. He has a huge ego as well. Would he bring them down? I'm not sure. Bless up from the family. Bless up to yourself. Martin's put, big up, friend. Going to catch a show later. Later, man. Working like a dog today. Get the graft in. Get the hustle in, Martin. Fleabeard has put, Fran, can't see any way Conte happens. The Kroenkes are all in Arteta. They just handed him 150 million. And that's what then obviously slaps me in my face. It slaps me in my face when I hear that, because I know that's in the back of my mind and everyone else's mind. So it's going to be deep core into the Kroenkes' mind. Like, wait a minute, we have just spent 150 million. I tell you what, your wife wants a new gaff. You've got cash money spare. You all right? You've got cash. Oh, no, I've took a loan. Your wife wants this gaff. You're busting your nuts off to get to the deposit. She says, listen, if I get this gaff, I'm not going to go into what else is going to happen, but you're going to get treated even more. Feeding grapes. You're going to get the whole works. Just get me this gaff. All right? House, yard, whatever you may call it. All right? 3 years, you're grafting your nuts off. Well, 2 years for Arteta's, right? You go to the wife. I've got you. I've got it you. I've got you that 6-bed. I've got your electric gates. Got you a couple of acres. I've got it you. I have got it you. And then Shirley gets an 8-bed with 5 acres. And instead of electric gates that go like that, the electric gates that go across, she comes home and she says, we're going to have to sell this house. I want that gaff. You're going to lose it. You're going to lose it. You're going to lose it, aren't you? You're going to lose it. You're absolutely going to lose. You're going to lose it. And not only that, the house has gone down in value. She wants you, and she's kicking off. She's kicking off, and she wants you to sell the gaff. Imagine how you would feel. It's not happening. It's not happening. Buenos Aires put, whatever happens to Conte, he won't be available forever. Imagine players like Saka, ESR, Odegaard, Martinelli, Tavares, Maitland-Niles, etc. under Conte. He'll improve them better than Arteta could. There's two ways that those type of players go, by the way. There's 2 ways that those type of players go. Those players that want to be top would be in Conte's plans. And you know what? Out of them, you've got to look at something. Who do you think? Saka, for me, is definitely. He's going to run around and he's going to do he's had a bit of a shocking start to the season, but we know what we're going to get from Saka. ESR could struggle under Kante. Odegaard could struggle if he doesn't do the other side of the game. Martinelli, I don't think, would get a chance. Tavares may get a chance. Maitland-Niles would not get a chance. Or they would have to go away, come in early, go late, and obviously make sure that they up the game. They really, really, really up the game, and then they've got an opportunity, you know. Chris has put, who's Shirley? No idea. What sort of woman do you get involved with? Listen, I don't know. It's the first name that came in my head. I don't know why. Other gooners put, I don't see Conte at Arsenal, but that doesn't mean that we can't demand for him. And that's what I think it is. I said, I was on Curtis's stream the other week when I was saying, Curtis, listen, we're not going to get a Conte. We're not going to get a Conte. The Potters, the Eddie Howes, the people of this world are the names that are just going to consistently be linked because of the budget that the Contes have proven in the past that they want to spend for a manager. So we're not going to get these. However, exactly what Are You Gooners just put, Are the Gooner. There's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, we're going to go for it. We're going to throw the money at it, and we are going to go for this. There's nothing wrong with doing that. And that's what I think they need to do. But I just can't see it, people, at the moment. I know it's Hopeium. I want to believe it. But listen, if he loses the next 2 games, who do they go for? Who do they go for? Do they go for someone else who's going to try? Who wants to come in? Realistically, who wants to come in for a cheap money, same as Arteta, and try and save Jack Sparrow? Who wants to come in and be that guy? I don't know there's many managers that would want to come in and do that, unless it's someone who thinks, wow, this is Arsenal. I can go in there and I can make this happen. Conte's not going to think, wow, this is Arsenal. You know? He's really not. He's really, really not. Conte would chin man Franny. The weak mindset is a winner. Yeah, back for Freddie. Yeah. Imagine Freddie Lungbird's back in the building. You never know. We never know. We never know. Right, people. We'll move on. This probably want to be about a 45-minute one, because I don't want to do edu settings, waffle settings. We're going to move on, and we're just going to briefly, obviously, speak about, for me, the international games. Let's just speak about the international games. I mean, a couple players that we'll speak about. The England, put your little thing about it, whatever. Now, England for me are very, very negative. They got to wherever they got to in the Euros, but I thought it was very, very negative. Keep putting your questions in, by the way, and it's Arsenal, and we'll go back and forth, no problem. Fran, if they give you the job, would you take it? 100% I'd take it. I don't care. I'd go straight in there with no experience, nothing. I would probably do a lot better than Arteta. And it's easy for me to say that because I'm sat here, but I actually think I will do better for Arteta. Because the first thing I would have done when I went in, I would have got the senior players on my side. First thing, they're the link between you and success. But let's go to the England. So, as we know, Saka's birthday, the crowd, everyone has been great to him because he's been through a tough time. And you know me, you shouldn't reward losers. And he's not exactly been rewarded for missing a penalty. But people have realized that it was a penalty he didn't mean to miss. And he is a young boy. He's a young boy. So fair play to all the England fans and everyone that's given him support, other than Rashford and Sancho, etc. I think that's unbelievable. So if you was a part of that, give yourself a pat on the back. And by giving out love, you will be loved, okay? You will be loved. Maybe not by the people that you want to sometimes, but you will be loved. Now, I've looked at the previous England games. And we have got the best talent that I have seen for a very long time, if ever, individually, if ever. You know, Trent Alexander-Arnold played out of position the other day. You've got Reece James. You've got Grealish. You've got all these players, Sancho, Saka. And it seems to be, at the minute, there seems to be no room for the most talented players. And also Southgate likes to play these two holding, Declan Rice and people like that. I'm not saying they're not good, but for me, they're not the players that I would pick. But that's the way that I would play the philosophy. I think if we had a different philosophy as a nation, that half of the players that play in the normal starting 11 would not play, and we would see some great football from the likes of Sancho's, the likes of Grealish, the likes of Trent Alexander, the likes of Jude Bellingham, the likes of all these players. The fact that Patrick Bamford, and people might say Franny deserves his chance. He deserved the chance. There's nowhere near. There's nowhere on this earth that he's better than Greenwood. And Greenwood weren't in the squad. Now, they're different types of players. So they're experimenting. I get that. But there's no way Greenwood should have been left out of that England squad. No way whatsoever. So as for me, I know a lot of you are not English. Some people are not English fans in the chat. I get it, but I just thought I would touch on it. So as for England, we always know they do really well in qualifications, because they never play anyone decent. They've got Poland, which are going to be a test. Lewandowski is going to be back. He wasn't available for the last game. But for me, we've got too many talented players now in the England squad, and I think that's going to be a problem for Gareth Southgate because he doesn't know which his best 11 is going to be, etc. So I just thought I'd touch on that a little bit with England. People could speak in the chat. Obviously, we've got Saka, we've got a few others, but I think we've got too many talented players now in this England squad, and Gareth Southgate is playing the wrong way to suit them. And I'm said it now. I always said when Gareth Southgate faces a team where we have to beat them, we don't win. We don't win. We don't win. So we will see. We will see what happens with the England squad. I just thought I'd pop on that because of international. Because of the international week, I thought it would just be right to tap on that. And what do you think, people? What do you think? Do you watch international football much? I actually don't watch it a lot. I've got to be honest, I actually don't watch it a lot. Now, obviously, there's other teams in the chat, etc. As you all know, you may not know, I'm obviously half Jamaican. Jamaica at the moment, they've got some decent players popping in left, right, and centre. We know that, and the team's getting stronger, but we can't seem to beat obviously the bigger. I don't expect us to beat the bigger nations. Let's be honest. You know, we've not been great. You know, we beat the poor teams Jamaica do, but we're not been great. Now, obviously, we played Mexico on Friday, lost 2-1. Not bad. They did all right. They got peppered, to be fair. You know, stats-wise, they got absolutely peppered. Shamar Nicholson, he's the one who obviously grabbed the goal as well. So they're trying to build something in the Jamaica squad. They're trying to build something. Antonio is going to make his debut at like 31 years old or something like that because he's been hanging out for an England call-up. So I think England try and snap up anyone with a little bit of Jamaican heritage so they don't go and play for Jamaica, because if they didn't, Jamaica would have one hell of a team, by the way. Absolute one hell of a team. But a lot of the people who are eligible for Jamaica, they kind of pray that they get in the England setup. A lot, obviously, they're born here, and playing for England is on a global spot a lot bigger than playing for Jamaica. So they kind of wait, and then kind of Jamaica then kind of get everyone towards the end of the career, if ever. Which is a little bit of a pity, really, but never know what's going to happen in the future. People might get sick of not getting picked and obviously want to play for Jamaica for some international football. But for them, they really need to obviously sort themselves out and try and get some winning. But they've got enough players back in yard. They've got some players that they may surprise a few. I just want them to get to a World Cup again. I want them to get to the World Cup. Remember the Reggae Boys? I was nearly in that squad. But just want them to get to the World Cup, man. I remember I used to be good friends with, well, not good friends, but no, Dion Burton, everyone like that, Marcus Scale, etc. And it was good for them. Nearly got in that squad one time. So, going back to England, a few people have said, Fran, how did Danny Mills play for England? That baffles me. Oh, mate. He's just said the right things. Sell El Neni. I can't see his role in the squad. Jameson's, I would sell El Neni. I don't know if the Turkish window's still open, I think. So maybe, is it? Or is it closed now? I think it's closed. Maybe today or tomorrow. People say Saka is better than Mount. Mount won Champions League 22 age. Different type of players, Santa. Different type of players. I never compare a player. For example, I would never compare Odegaard and Maddison, because they're two different types of players. Do you want them to do the same thing? Yeah, but they both can't do the same thing. They both don't play the same, Excuse me. So I think they're completely different players. You can't compare Mount and Saka for me. You really can't. Mount can do a lot more and a lot better in certain areas than what Saka can do. And Saka can do a lot better in driving at a player, taking players on, than what Mason Mount can do. So it would be unfair. It'd be unfair. It really would. How far do you think England squad get in the World Cup, Fran? Well, it's going to be a tricky one. It's going to be, if I was still in Dubai, I was going to go to that one in Qatar. It's a strange one. I think it's going to be the winter because the heat is going to be ridiculous. But I'm not going to go now. I'm going to go to the America and Mexico, I believe, Canada, etc. I'm going to try and get to America in the next World Cup, which will be fantastic, I think. But it's going to be tough. The conditions are going to be tough. The heat's going to be tough. But we have to believe quarterfinals for me is minimum for England every tournament now. It's a minimum. We're a huge nation. We've got the best league in the world, most entertaining, biggest money. We've got some very, very talented players who play a lot of games each season. So for me, the quarterfinals is a minimum in every single tournament. Now, we've been very lucky, both the last World Cup and the Euros, with the runs that we've had. We've had some probably the two most fortunate runs in tournament football in the history I've ever seen. For England, anyway. So depending on who we get and what group, I think quarterfinals is always the minimum. Whitmore out. Interesting who gets the Jamaica jobs, you know, it really is. Panama 3-0 was painful, bro. I support Jamaica and South Africa. That was painful. Yeah, we struggle against the South American teams. Kurd Glass has put Southgate as a fool for not enticing Antonio to chance to play for England. Kane is getting old and won't last forever. I think it's an age with Antonio. It's an age thing. It really is. Fran, is Saka overhyped? I believe so. Is Saka overhyped? You know, I don't want to say yeah, but my head is telling me to say yeah. My heart's telling me to say no. I've got high standards. I think a lot of players are overhyped. Yes, I do think Saka is overhyped. Do I think he's good? Very, very good. But do I think he's overhyped? Yes, I really, really do. There's one player who I think is not hyped enough, and that's this kid. Jude Bellingham is absolutely fantastic as a footballer. Fantastic as a footballer. The kid is 17. If he continues, he's going to be one of the best midfielders that we've ever had. He is fantastic. Yeah, fantastic. Fran, when I turned 15 and was eligible to join a semi-pro club in the States, my first semi-pro team was a small all-Jamaican team. Nothing but love for the reggae boys. Yeah, love that. Love that. Turkish League closes on Wednesday, so El Neni could be going to Besiktas. Nothing's really happened, so I'm not sure. 61 likes and 49 in the chat. Again, people just come in and give me likes. I absolutely love the support, people. Love the support from each and every one of you. Honestly, it's unbelievable. It really, really is unbelievable. I can't. And you turn up every day. It's what I think is unbelievable. You turn up every single day. No matter what you're doing, no matter whether you're at work, you turn up, you give me a like, you stay in, or you tell me you're going to watch it later, you share it. It's unbelievable. Honestly, it's unbelievable. So a player is better because they win a trophy. Wow, I've never been one for that. I really haven't. On mine, I just really, really judge players on how effective they are in that position. That's why I wouldn't compare a Mount to a Saka. I just wouldn't. It'd be unfair. Two different players, two different attributes, two different strengths, two different weaknesses. And this thing where people have to win trophies to become better than someone else, I think it's harsh. When people say to me, but Fran, no one's won the World Cup. I'm like, you can't help what year he was born or where he was born. You know, I'm not a huge fan of that. Ardu Guna, I'm not. I don't think players have to win trophy. It looks good on their CV. It's great in an argument. You know, well, what have you won? But does it make you better? Does it make Olivier Giroud better than Harry Kane? You know, does it? I don't think it does. You know, so tell Santa that you want a PS5. I'm not Santa Claus no more. Fran, I like how you say how it is. Listen, I'm very, very balanced. I try to be unbiased. I try to just use my experience from being in the game and life experience to try and get a balance. Am I biased at some things? Of course I am. I'm human. But I try as much as I can to listen to other people because they're probably going to have a balance and that will help me learn. You know, it's like Maradona is clearly better than Messi. I disagree. But I get it's a flip of a coin. A flip of a coin, that one for me. People say, well, he went Napoli and he did this, Fran. He won the World Cup, Fran. And I say, yes, I get that argument. And that has substance, foundations, and facts. I get that. But as a player, of what I see Messi as a better player than Maradona. But I'm not right or I'm not wrong. It's just one of those things, you know. It's one of those things. We disagree, but it doesn't mean someone's a worse person than you, or it doesn't mean someone is stupid, or it doesn't mean someone is dumb. It just means they have a completely different belief system and perspective on what they see. That's all it is. That's all it is, people. And Terence Tibbs, 100%. You know I've got mad love. Space put yo found your channel through Curtis Shaw. Keep it up the grind. It's good channel, man. Really do appreciate it. I didn't manage to get on Curtis. I'm going to catch up with Curtis later on today. We need to sit down, and we keep saying we're going to do things, but we've been really, really busy. We're trying to get these numbers up and show the world and show YouTube that we're trying to take over this game. And I said that when I had 1 subscriber. I can tell you that we're not going to overcomplicate it. We're going to just let our knowledge, our personality, and our love for our community to try and get us through. I tune in because I'm scared of Fran. I don't want to knock on my door from his brothers. Good glass. Now, my brothers are all right unless I set them on you. Do you think ESR should play more on the wing rather than centrally? People are struggling to see which is ESR's best position. Can't wait for Ronaldo versus Arsenal. It would be a disaster. Oh, please. I don't think no one's looking forward to that. Maradona would be a beast if he played in Messi's era. Messi would struggle in Maradona's era. Good point. It was definitely harder back then. Definitely harder. Maradona is a better player. Messi had the better career. Yeah, some would flip it. Again, like I say, always we have different opinions and everything. Like I always say, I could pick up this water. I could drink this water and say, you know what? This water has a big, big meaning for me in my life. Someone might turn around and say, well, Fran, that's tap water. I'm never drinking tap water. I hate it. There you go. It's fine. None of us are right. None of us are wrong, Fran, would you take losing if that means we get Conte? It's a tricky question, Rion, that everyone asks each other. I honestly think, and, same in the chat, whether you would do it or not, I honestly think a lot of people would take losing to get rid of Arteta. I honestly do think that. Not everyone, of course, but some people, I think. And I would probably be one of those. Would Maradona be able to keep up with the modern day football's pace? Don't think so. It's hard. There's pros and cons. The pace is more, but it's way less physical now. It's way less physical. But there are better athletes now. Like when Maradona ran away from Peter Reid and Butcher and them, they could not run then. Never mind now. Whereas now you might face a Kyle Walker. So there's arguments to both sides of it. Davis, but Fran, what's your opinions on carbonated water? Listen, I went through a stage of doing a bit of water because I know with the plastics, with certain waters from certain types are not good for our system. They're not natural water for the humans and all these type of water. I remember getting the Fiji water, distilled water, all these things. And I just came to the point and I thought, you know what? I got to the conclusion where tap water is fine, depending on where you are in the world, by the way. Now, tap water in England is very, very different than tap water in, say, some parts of South America or Africa, or even in Dubai, there was grains of sand because there's sand everywhere. You couldn't see it; it was minuscule, but there'd be grains of sand in your water. So if you drank tap water, eventually you'd have loads of sand in your body. You won't fill up like sand, man, but you would have millions of particles of sand. So for me, carbonated water, I think it's fine. I think all waters are fine. Unless where you are in the world, unless where you are in the world. He would be trained better. Like you say, hindsight, we don't know. The thing is, we never know. Mexico, Maradona won a World Cup in Mexico basically on his own. That's how good he was. True. Zach's Vision has put 100% sign me up. We've been losing anyway. I would happily lose the next 3 games to get Arteta out. It's gin, and it's gin. Chris is saying. It's all about opinions, brother. Love the discussions and the interaction. Listen, it's all about opinions and belief systems that we had growing up. And if we don't biohack it, we will have those belief systems forever, whether they harm us or whether they improve us. And we have to respect that from each and every one of us, okay? Tap water settings. We're talking about tap water now. I love these streams. I love these streams. I said we was going to go for 45 minutes, and look already. We've gone on to tap water around 50 minutes. 60 in the chat. Great support today, people. I hope everyone, secondly, I've already said it. I hope everyone is having a great Monday. I hope everyone is feeling good. And if you are not, don't worry, you are not alone in this world. Everyone is going through something. And just remember that you have to see the end and you will be fine. You will be fine. Drew's put, Fran, do you think Germany scouts English talent better than England? For example, how the hell is English team went for Bellingham? I have no idea. It's to do with compensation as well. So if he goes to an English team, compensation is a lot more than if he goes overseas. And also, just like Terence is saying, we're not great at developing players in this country. English philosophy is very different. We don't encourage players to get the ball down. We don't encourage players to play out from the back. We don't encourage players to get the ball in tight areas, to take risks. Unfortunately, there's only a few select clubs and coaches in England that actually want this philosophy. And that's why we don't produce a lot of players that are world class. Unfortunately, that's the problem. We're getting better because the infrastructure of teams are getting better. Coaches are getting better. And like you say, if my son ever wanted to play football and he got to the point where he was at the level where someone wanted him, and a German or a Spanish or a Portuguese or a French team even wanted him because they play different football, I would move my family and let him go to abroad. I wouldn't stay in England because the success rate in England is very low. You got to remember, if Eric Dyer was in England, he would never be playing at the level that he is at. Never. I remember Owen Hargreaves. Can you remember him? He would have never been playing at the level that he played at if he wasn't in Germany first. So, Fran, would you lose our games to get Conte? Or would you? I would lose the next games to get Arteta out. I really would. Because, listen, the reason I say that is because I think even if we win 5 games in a row, Arteta will still do what he's doing. Fran, it's a Tuesday here in New Zealand. Oh, your time ahead in the future, man. What's it like in the future, Randy? What's it like? I've always been interested. Indian tonic water before bed works for me. Nice. Clubs wanted, obviously, Bellingham to choose for his development. Craig's put, feeling good because both of your streams are good, really good. Respect, bro. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Curved Glass is coming with a super chat. Mad love, Curved Glass, as always. Really do appreciate it. No comment, but, make sure you get those comments in. But really do appreciate the support, as always. Magnificent. Does not work without each and every one of you people. Does not work. Terence support. You don't get that in the UK. You just don't get the right development. Arteta has zero consistency. Arteta's mission of what he wants, I think it's going to take too long. Mr. Podolski's put, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, Mr. Podolski? Really do appreciate it. What a left foot. Have you got a left foot like Podolski? What a hammer. What a hammer. Boom. He was disappointing, weren't he, Podolski? Disappointing. Anyway, Terence has put, I was living in Berlin for 15 years ago. The local school had international quality sports facilities available to all kids. I mean, even now, when I was a kid, sports day was a huge thing. Olympics, I went out and got the Olympics vest, the Barcelona one, and the tight shorts. And I would go on the field and think I was a sprinter. Sports day now, when my kids go sports day, they very rarely even do parent sports day. You get medals for competing. Now, they may do that in other countries. That is not the way to create winners. That's not the way to create winners. I can tell you that, people. And I think that's a whole part of the development. We're soft. We're soft. And not only we're soft, we're trying to stop people from doing what they are doing. Also, Podolski, who am I thinking about? Who had the left foot hammer then? Was it Podolski who had a hammer, though? It was right foot, yeah? Yeah. Maybe. Why did I think it was left foot? I don't know. I really don't know. But we're building weak mentality. And people that don't want to take risks. Football's changed now. How many times do you see people dribble? You just don't see it. You see it the odd time, and it was like, wow, he dribbled. You're like, wait a minute, that's what everyone used to do. Big up, Fran, been watching the streams, man. Big support. Mick Ross waffling. Mick Ross waffling. I appreciate that. Steve's put in a chat. He's put, Fran, if you could choose one player from the top leagues, who would you choose? One player from the top leagues, who would I choose? See, I mean, I want to say Messi, but. But. He's 34 now. Don't get me wrong, he's still better than most 25. In fact, he's still better than 99.9% of people on the planet. But who would I go for? And we're talking investment, future. Jude Bellingham. I'd go for Jude Bellingham. Investment-wise, I'd go for Jude Bellingham. I think he's going to be fantastic. But I'm just getting ahead. If I wanted instant success, I would go for Lewandowski. I think he would be awesome for us if we put crosses in the box. Buy a cup of that funky coffee you love. Listen, I love coffee. On my other channel, I started drinking tea at night. Okay, and you see some nice tea. But I'm sourcing for a nice coffee machine. I know a few people in the chat have already told me about the coffee machines. So you're going to see some nice coffee. You're going to see some nice coffee. I love coffee. I had a right foot like Podolski, broke 2 goalkeepers' hands. Fleabed has put England style is very ponderous, build up and then camp outside the box, hope for a bit of magic happens. What happened to direct or dynamic football with pace through the midfield? It's gone. Ronaldo, you take Ronaldo. I'd love Jude. Oh yeah, Lewandowski. Yeah, that's what I'd go for. I really would. Right then, people. Honestly, I thought that this chat would be one of those that drags on because we're speaking about Hopeium, and Hopeium can only last so long. And when we got to 25, 30 minutes, I was thinking, what else are we going to speak about, people? But the community, again, came up trumps and just added that Salt Bay into the dish. And we are here, people. We are here. So, again, I hope everyone has had a magnificent start to the week. I stress that, energy, people. Get that good energy for the week. Whatever you're going through, just remember that by the end of the week, if you face it head on, it could all be dealt with. It could all be dealt with, and you will feel $1 million, okay? Whatever you're going to do, whether it's starting that podcast, whether it's starting that YouTube channel, whether it's starting that book, whether it's starting the gym, whether it's starting to work on the marriage, the relationship, to make sure there's some more love in the house. Whatever it may be, people, start today. Start today. When you get off the stream, start today, okay? Right, people. I'm going to love you all and leave you. I'm going to see you tomorrow. We'll see what happens. It's still a quiet week, but we'll come up with something tomorrow. Check out the other stream as well on the other channel. Really do appreciate each and every one of you getting really good response from that and getting some quite good subs already. So once again, God bless you to each and every one of you, whatever religion you are, and just maybe no religion like me. I'm not really religion. I just take a little bit from all religions and all walks of life and try and spread that love. So have a blessed up rest of the day. Big respect for each and every one of you and your families. And I will see you tomorrow. You take care.